My whole life has been a blur between paid and unpaid work. Being paid is very, very secondary, in my view, which is probably why I've not got any money. My name is Heather O'Connor. Well Thumb Books is an enterprise run by 5 women. I'm one of them. When we opened Well Thumb Books, I was 69. Yeah, I'm now 80, so 11 years. The shop that it's now in had been empty for 5 years, and it was a big hole in the town. Cobargo is a very small town, so the chance of secondhand bookshop working was pretty low, really. We all said that we were doing it to have fun and so that we'd all have a supply of books for ourselves. So the whole idea of a customer satisfaction was pretty low, really. We did it for ourselves. But we also do book launches there and we support local writers. And I think it's become, you know, a really important part of that community, and particularly after the fires. It was sort of a safe space and a nice space to come into. I mean, we're terribly lucky it survived, and people were so relieved. It would have been a terrible blow to that town if we'd lost the shop. But it's a community centre, if you like, so that would have been an element of the town that would have been very hard to replace. I worked for years around the issue of women in prison, and I think that shaped a lot of what I did thereafter. And the thing that really rolls me up now is how slow we are to take up the issues to do with Indigenous people and refugees. I think the refugee situation it's indescribably inhumane, and I can't understand why. We're privileged to do this, and people bring us in books and whatever. So we have an obligation to give back to the community, and just in the process now of trying to get an idea of how much we've donated back over 11 years, and it's huge. It's a range of things. Local projects, but also refugees, advocacy groups and Timor and all sorts of things. They are things that were strong in my feminist activist days, because I worked in politics for so long. Well, that never finishes, and you never know at the end of the day whether you know, what you've actually achieved. Whereas this is very, very tangible. If I hadn't had 2 kids to feed, I would have been a student all my life. I love learning stuff. We are very, very genuinely interested in people's reading. To not be able to talk to people about books when they come in just seems to me to be very disrespectful. I heard recently of a second-hand bookshop that had been opened and the people had no knowledge of books at all, none. They might as well have been selling candles.